We alive?
All right. Welcome back, everybody, back to Frome County. Sorry again about last weekend. Things got way more busy and out of hand than I expected. So, to catch everyone up, you guys have brought the herd into just outside of El Paso, where you guys have bedded down while encountering.
El Paso. That doesn't sound right.
What's that? Where am I? Let me bring up that map.
We settled outside of the town over yonder.
No, it was
it was
before
Pueblo.
Denver.
Oh, Pueblo.
Was it?
Maybe
Yeah.
that's Pueblo. Sorry. So, just outside of you can count while resting the team outside of Pueblo. You encountered Mr. Knight and his wife, who had claimed that their daughter had been kidnapped by a nefarious bandit in the region that goes by El Presidente. Jericho recognizes the name or remembers a similar individual that he used to gang with back in the day, that also used to enjoy being referred to by that moniker.
And then he told us all about, oh, right, yeah.
Him and his gang are a wanted group. They're known to wear a yellow bandana as their gang sign kind of thing. Sorry, I don't have a yellow bandana on the image.
He's wearing it. It's on his belt.
Oh, there you go. See? You just don't see it.
He's still unidentified, though.
That's because we don't have a real name.
You took the job for some sum of money to be paid upon the safe return of his daughter. It is believed that El Presidente's gang, makes their camp or hides somewhere in the canyon or in Zion Canyon. No one knows for sure where. No one's been able to track them down. A posse was sent out to go hunt Elizabeth and found nothing but what looked like a bonnet that may have belonged to her somewhere up the river canyon itself. Speaking with Mr. Knight, he is offered the services of his trusty guide, Redshirt. Don't ask why. That's just the name he goes by. And his son, Danny.
But Danny's the bad guy.
Mm-hmm. No, he's what's-her-name's Flunky. Because she's running the gang.
Oh, right, yeah, I forgot the little girl's running the gang now.
All right, so you guys, everyone, as it is late morning when you finish speaking with Mr. Knight and his wife about this situation. The day prior, you did encounter and speak with the local law. They confirmed much of what it was already known. One thing that they weren't aware of was the gang El Presidente's gang isn't known for kidnapping. But like most people, don't necessarily put it past them. It's just something new. Any questions up to this point?
Nope. What does the color blue taste like?
How do I get out of this chicken shit outfit?
Bang!
How far away is the canyon from the ranch?
Oh. X some number of miles. I mean, I have a scale of half inch.
Is it a long way or just a little?
It's some number of miles. Hold on, let me
Right.
see if I can kind of come up with something.
That could be
Multiple
any
miles.
number of.
As long as it's
Less than a
12.
day.
If we say that's the scale to get from the ranch to is about 10 miles. And then up the canyon is some other.
Okay, so the ranch marker is accurate
Ish. Yeah. Well,
ish.
scale at this point is really not that relevant other than time. But even then, it's mostly just kind of a feature. One thing to note is Red Shirt does recommend going instead of
Is that his Indian name, Red Shirt?
sure, it translates loosely to Red Shirt. He does recommend going up the river onto the mesa and tracking across, looking for the hidden, as that no one's been able to find anything going down the valley itself.
That sounds like a good idea. Let's consult our Indian too. What do you
Coming
think,
back that way.
Chavez?
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, yeah, we kind of need to cover the other side of the valley there too. That works.
I don't know. What skill shall I roll?
On the other hand, the Indian guide might actually be in on it, and he's keeping us away from the clues.
That's right. He's working for the little girl too.
She's paying him in firewater.
Man, we are telling a fascinating story with that little girl.
As he puts a small bottle away and looks at you like, what?
We are no longer in Frome County, are we?
No. You're long past and you're now into
Well, technically, the campaign is still titled that.
Frome County, yeah. Yes, and
But I can't use area knowledge Frome County.
no. Area knowledge Frome County will not function here. I guess a tracking roll might work, based on the idea that you're looking for a hideout and where you might.
Anybody actually have Streetwise? I wonder if that would actually work here.
Could do an
Why
IQ
would
based tracking.
Streetwise work here? That doesn't
Well,
make
it's
any
about-
sense, Daniel. There's no streets.
Yeah. About criminal goings on. Might suggest a logical place for someone to hide or not hide.
Well, things you did learn is if they're in the canyon, they're deep somewhere in there. And they're not generally noticeable along the riverbed, because that's where most of when they go out looking for them, they spend most of their time going up and down the river, not necessarily up and in the hills and rocky areas.
How about
So-
IQ based tracking?
Sure, go with that.
We're gonna
you don't
find
see
a
it.
cave, and it's gonna send us to Barsoom.
Dang it! There just goes my game.
It's the evil spider. Cave of gold.
Evil spider, burn it.
Dang it, Phil, you're ruining all my surprises. Alright, so, Chavez, you don't see any error in the logic at all? It does give you some opportunities to search out, within the paths and hills in that area, while at the same time giving you opportunities to look down into the valley and see if any activity is occurring down there as well.
I agree. We should go up.
The only issue you do is the horses become problematic, and they would likely become problematic in certain instances. You may have to walk them as opposed to ride them.
I agree. We should go up along the mesa, but the terrain will be difficult with the horses. But screw it. Hold my beer.
Right, so we should probably walk. We walk from here.
There's no reason to leave the horses out. We'll just have to get off them.
Alright, so you guys set off? In that direction. That will work. So, Chavez,
We'll scout
your
ahead.
tracking will be better than his. So he will provide assistance to you. He will just kind of help guide you in the, like, if we go this way, that way, kind of thing.
Righto.
I suppose Jericho can help as well.
Well, I got an 11 in tracking, so. But
I got,
it's an 11, so.
yeah, I got a 14. I'll probably be helping.
Damn, that's pretty good.
So +2.
Alright. You will gain a... Yep, +2. Alright. So you will definitely not... And then give me a navigate roll, unless you want Red to do the navigation.
Yeah, it's probably better Red does the navigation.
What's he have it at?
I'm gonna call it 14. I don't have
Okay. Then he's better than me.
I got a 7 in it.
Oh, he keeps you from getting lost. So you spend about a good part of the first day kind of up the mesa into gaining some altitude, kind of in and around, finding too much.
I wonder what the altitude is here.
It's actually a real place. It's kind of funny. I can actually tell you. It's not like redonkulous.
It's not exactly important. Unless it's high enough that there's a
No. You won't have
breathing
any altitude
problem.
issues. Nothing like that.
Is there
Company's known for
anywhere in the
stalwart
States where
infantry.
you need oxygen?
When you get up into the mountains, it will get a little
Then
awkward.
Yeah, but I don't think you'll get hypoxia in anywhere in the States.
No, you're not going to get pulmonary or cerebral edema in the U.S.
Maybe Washington D.C. because there's no oxygen there.
Just oxygen thieves.
Yep.
Yep. All right.
You could have just said just thieves, and I would have agreed with you.
So you spend the first day kind of tracking through and finding not much. Making your way. Give me another roll. Say probably, what is a good rough terrain distance that you guys would be huffing at? Let's assuming approximately that distance.
Sorry, did you make a complete sentence there?
He did not.
Did I not?
I think it was
What
2
is a-
sentences.
Okay, how far do you guys tend to travel in a single day over rough mountainous terrain, or I'd
All
call
right.
it mountainous?
It's gonna be probably rough enough to call it a quarter. So if you consider that we're riding, even when we're not riding, then it's gonna be no more than 10 miles. Yeah,
No, the move on a
10,
horse
15.
is 8.
I'm thinking 40-mile days, but that's probably, well,
20 miles we should do. According to, if it's a quarter and we're on a horse, that's 80 and a quarter of that.
Actually, in realistic terms, this is only from Grafton to the top of the where that arrow is, approximately, is actually only 10 miles. My scale's off.
we'll fix it. That's an interesting thought. You just keep resizing it until the arrow's right.
There, that's better. That's
Okay, well, we
more-
can do-
That's actually accurate.
Then we could probably cover it in one day.
All right. 10 miles up and down the. All right. So you guys get to about here when Chavez.
I didn't know you could. I didn't know you could change my my arrows.
I'm the GM. I'm all powerful. I didn't either. I just assumed I could, so I did. Chavez, as you're kind of moving along, and you see the 3 peaks rising above the landscapes, you get to see this.
Here comes
you
the
all get to
dragon.
see it.
It's aliens.
Fuzz Roda. I finally bought
Technically.
Skyrim.
Technically, you're actually on the reverse side of those guys, but that's the peaks that you see right there. But of more interest to you is what looks like a old wagon wheel trail.
Did you say wagon wheels? Those are so much better than chocolate pies.
And so you made it by 6. You figure what could possibly have been about 2 hand carts and several horses have passed through here. But they do seem to be quite a bit, at least some number of days old.
All right. Well, Chavez will check the tracks fairly thoroughly. He'll jump off his horse and pick up some trail droppings and eat them and do his thing to
the dirt.
work out how fresh these tracks are, and then he'll turn to the guide and he'll say, "Do you know where this trail goes?"
Any small feet?
Kind of looks. It looks like they originate from kind of the southwest. Sorry, one moment.
Was this area part of the storm?
What do you mean?
The storm of last session.
No.
So these 2 weeks is the rough period of the tracks.
Right. Yeah. They've been here they're about 2 weeks old, is what you gather. He kind of looks at them. He kind of, with your agreement, they look like they originate from the southwest. They veer towards your current position, and then they turn away from the canyon, heading northwest again. He doesn't recognize it.
So they don't head to any sort of commonly travelled location or
No.
a pass or anything like that.
Nothing common. He doesn't necessarily believe that that these are necessarily El Presidente's men. It looks more like where you're at. It was just some it kind of met your path, and it was convenient to come through and catch a good sight of the three giants before veering back and away.
All right. Chavez will say to the party, "This is probably a good place to rest. I'm going to quickly check this trail. Does anyone want to join me?"
I'll go.
With that, Chavez will mount up and follow this trail just to see where it heads, and if it looks like it's going somewhere of interest, or Chavez notices anything else, then he'll probably turn back and inform the rest of the group.
All right. So Chavez, Jericho, that's it.
Going to be somewhat stealthy in the approach.
Roger.
Hence why I'm not going.
Yeah, I think I would just be in the way.
All right. So
This would be capped by riding, I'm assuming.
if you desire to ride, that's fine.
Is it terrain that the horses will cope with well
you can
enough?
follow the trail, the little wagon trail at this point. It's a path rideable.
Alright, so this is a riding roll, but it is actually stealth.
Right, yo. All right. So you kind of follow the trail and give me a notice for Chavez and Jericho.
In the box.
Sure.
Too late.
Doesn't
I'm
matter.
awesome.
It's fine. Okay. And Chavez. So as you kind of start to, slink down the trail on the horses going slowly, you kind of go up and over a small, little rise, and you do notice what look like abundance of large birds, kind of just off a little bit off in the distance, maybe a quarter mile.
These birds, are they like circling crows and vultures or birds of the sort?
You have seen normal birds overhead, but these ones do draw your attention. They do look a little larger. So yeah, you can pretty, but you guys have known. Yeah, you're pretty certain that they're buzzards circling something over there.
Chavez will sort of just tap Jericho on the shoulder and point. And he'll say, buzzards are eating something there. We should investigate. And then moving on. Maybe at a slightly quicker pace since it's quarter mile.
Oh, I was going to ask you, how far out? Quarter mile?
Quarter mile, half mile, somewhere between there.
Ish.
So you guys continue to press.
Roger.
As you kind of press into in that direction, you start to get to a point where you can actually see them. You notice it is obvious there are buzzards dining on something, and as you approach close enough to see, it's obviously a man on his back, and you kind of notice, some movement by the man, and a shot rings out, and one of the birds kind of falls dead, but then you see the man's hand kind of fall to the earth at the same moment.
Okay.
Chavez will take a good amount of time just looking around to see if there's anyone in the vicinity. He'll look for glints or horses or anyone else. So he's going to survey the area.
Alright, throw me some perception, vision based. You don't notice anything. The vultures for a moment are startled and kind of flew off for a moment after the gunshot, but after a few moments they seem to just kind of settle back, attempting to at a easy meal. But you don't see anything in the canyons or anything around where the individual is.
Damn it, we don't have the doc with us. Is there anyone of our party that are good with medicaling?
I think Sarah's okay at it.
Yeah, but this dude just got shot.
Well,
So you're not going to go out
No,
there.
he shot a buzzard.
Yeah, he shot a buzzard. Oh, and everyone else, just give me a sound-based perception from the rest of the party. Henry, you hear a gunshot go off, and and
What the
so
hell?
does Slate.
That's
There
better.
it is.
Started to get
So,
worried there for a
Bossy,
second.
Sarah's
Wallinger,
dice
and
didn't
Slate,
let us down.
you guys do hear what sounds like the report of a pistol go off somewhere in the direction
That
the other
sounded like
two
a
went.
gunshot.
That was definitely a
Perhaps we
gunshot.
should take that as a signal.
But nothing further follows.
All right, so we don't have anyone that is, recognized as being a doctor.
Negative.
Yeah, he's
All
back
right.
in Frome
Doctor-wise.
County.
Hey, you're an Indian. You should know all that stuff.
Danny has mentioned that, while you guys were traveling, he's commented that, I got to learn, how to patch people up and animals up, that kind of thing, while working for my pa. Actually, he doesn't even call him his pa. He's like Mr. McKnight or Mr. Knight.
Chavez will just sort of get Jericho's attention, gesture with his head, let's ride forward, and then Chavez will sort of ride fairly quickly to help this guy.
Move in
Alright.
quietly and warily.
Quietly and wearily. Hold on, let me bring up the
Not
map.
wearily,
No,
warily.
warily.
Eh.
You
Six
could
of
be
one, half
weary. You
dozen
have
of
been
the
going
other.
up and down these mountains all day, and All right. As you kind of get up there, the buzzards seem kind of annoyed at you, make noises, and then eventually fly off, leaving a rather,
What noises do buzzards make?
I don't know,
Buzz.
but whatever it is. Yep.
Buzz,
it's
buzz,
not
motherfuckers.
pleasant. But the body is still. There's some fresh, bite marks on it. Where pieces of flesh have been torn.
Is he the body or is he the guy?
The guy. Well, he is now a body.
Is he no longer
Body
the
of the guy.
guy?
He's no longer. Well, he was. He's the NX guy. More appropriately termed corpse.
He
or
he
Pining
has
for the
he has
fjords.
in fact expired.
Shuffled off this mortal coil,
He's pining.
pining for the fjords.
What's the source of his injuries?
A gunshot.
Aside from the obvious more recent ones.
The buzzards were chewing at him with their teeth. And yes, I know they don't have teeth, but
Are you sure?
Looking for the injury that actually killed him.
It
gunshot.
does look like a gunshot himself, but give me a tracking roll as well.
It's those damn ninja cougars again.
You can tell what looks like he's been dragging himself for some time and towards the canyon itself.
And so he's been following the trail that we've just come off and heading towards the... Sorry, he's come the other way and he's heading towards the canyon. Along the trail. Yeah?
It looks like he was trying to head along that trail, but not the direction you guys came from. He looks like he was taking more of trying to beeline it to the canyon itself.
Righto. And can we see how old his wound is? Is it like, really dried blood, or is it relatively fresh?
It does seem like he had been wounded at least a day ago. He actually is wearing a yellow bandana.
Do I recognize him?
No.
It was Bob.
Has he got anything useful on him?
He has a Colt with about $4 in his pocket, but other than that,
won't need that where he's going.
He's got about 3 rounds
Nope.
left in his cylinder, and looks like 5 more on his belt.
Stick him in the saddlebag.
Looking in the direction of the drag, his drag tracks or drag marks, is there an obvious place that he's come from?
Not after trying to backtracking a little bit. You do. It doesn't look like there's anything obvious in that direction. It almost looks like he started in one direction and then kind of just made it. Yeah. Hold on. Where are we?
Well, we'll follow the drag marks to the point where he's started dragging himself to the degree that we can, and see if there's evidence of a fight or something.
Or he came from like that direction and then kind of started coming that way, trying to follow down towards the valley. Sorry, what was your question?
Beginning of the drag marks.
Tracking backwards.
Yeah.
Okay. How long are you gonna? It looks like the track marks head towards the Narrows direction.
Well, how far did he drag himself, or
How far are you gonna track back? It looks like he's been wounded for a little over a day.
Chavez will he'll get Jericho's attention and say, I'm going to go back, get the others. You follow the tracks, I'll catch up. Or you follow the drag mark, I'll catch up.
And that's the last we ever see of Jericho or Chavez.
You're gonna say heard from him.
Maybe.
Chavez then swings himself up on his horse and spurs it on back the way we came to inform the rest of the party that there's something worth investigating.
All right. Well, Jericho's gonna stay out of sight to the extent that he can, and try to follow up that trail.
Jericho's gonna find a stump and sit down and wait.
Alright, give me a tracking roll, please.
See how far his curiosity takes him. Because he was dragging himself, he's probably not going to have gone that far.
Alright, after a bit, you get to a kind of where it looks like maybe some other. You get to about how far ahead are you going?
Let's say I will go for an hour and reevaluate. So I figure by that point everybody's going to have caught up.
Alright. Alright, so Chavez gets back into camp, tells you guys all about what they found, a body and wounded or shot by something. You know, looks like he's been in a fight for a while ago. You don't know if I mean, the thing is you don't know if it's been a day, it could have been 2 days. But
Hey, this guy has the yellow bandana. All right, well, let's.
But he does have a yellow bandana.
Follow them. What's
All
the
right.
worst that could happen?
I don't
Death?
know. Painful death. Not...
Cannibalism?
Oh, yep, there you go. Cannibalism. That'd be pretty nasty.
That'd be worse.
Where they take a limb slowly, keeping you alive.
Oh wow, I wasn't even thinking about it that way.
That would be pretty rough watching cook you. Or pieces of you.
Well, what's more rough is when they let you eat them.
All right.
Don't tell you.
So
You
eventually
guys.
everyone catches back up to Jericho. Red shirt, kind of looks. He's like, well, it does look like he kind of points off in the direction of the Narrows itself. It's like, well, looks like we're heading. We were going to be heading in that direction ourselves. It's kind of an easy way of getting down and then back up. Eventually, after a few hours of travel, you guys find a spot about here where it looks like there had been some other, what looks like a horse had been. You find some horse trail. You can see where the scuffle or wherever he was shot was somewhere right around here. You only see the signs of one horse, or what used to be and then his body, where he kind of started to drag himself.
Right. This is the
Looks like he
sole
laid
idiot
there for a little bit.
who refused to sign up when the girl took over. So she shot him.
Mhm.
So it looks like he was by himself, at least where he was shot. It does look like he was shot, fell off what looks like his horse, remained on the ground for a little bit, and then started dragging himself until he could get some, I guess what you assume is his bearings, and then started trying to go down the mountain.
Wonder where the hell he was going.
I got a pretty good idea where he was going. Oh, not metaphorically. Right, gotcha.
All right.
Let's see if that's within 2 miles. So that would be within sight. Potentially.
In sight
Terrain
of...
dependent.
Oh, the terrain's all kinds of craggy and broken and easily
Well, the point being the Narrows is only a couple of miles away, so if we get up onto a high point, you can probably see over there. Hell, if you had a properly scoped and powerful rifle, you could shoot somebody.
Not on the side you're on. I don't know if you bring up Google Maps and type in Zion County National Forest, you'll see how well broken up that area is.
Oh, I'm so looking for it now.
I'm not.
Let's see, that's around Pueblo.
So there was just one horse.
Well, it's not actually around Pueblo.
Oh, well.
So, yeah, disregard the geographic, inaccuracies in this scenario. It just happens to be that this is like, oh, this will work.
So there was only one horse here, and he fell off his horse.
Nope, it looks like he was shot off his horse.
Right.
And then left, what looks like left for dead. He came to and started like dragging himself. The horse looks like it left him, and he started trying to drag himself back to wherever he was going.
So I guess have the trackers try to find additional tracks, like the person who shot him.
Looking around.
You're unable to find anything that looks, like any additional tracks. I mean,
So, like, he may have been sniped?
correct.
Then Chavez will immediately start looking around for a good, clear line of sight sniping area.
You find all kinds of good spots.
Yeah, and also probably look at where the blood splatter was.
That would be forensics, wouldn't
Reverse.
it?
Yeah, that would be like a forensic check.
Crap, I don't have forensics.
Nobody
Who was our
does.
Pinkerton?
That was also our doctor. Woohoo! Forensics is 6 if it's unskilled or untrained.
What is it? IQ minus 6?
Yes.
Could make the case for a perception based.
Well,
In which case, it wouldn't be any better for me.
you're pretty certain the shot could have come from anywhere. There's so many little outcroppings and easy places for someone to have gotten themselves to and taken them out from.
If he had just died where he landed instead of dragging himself off.
That, he was shot from his horse, so
Inconsiderate bastard.
So you're not
But we
going to get
can-
a lot of.
We can
easy
see
blood
where he
splatter.
was. We can see where he was headed, right? Before he was shot.
Looks like he may have been coming from that direction. Or sorry, from that way.
Okay, so he was coming from the Narrows and got shot. Was he shot in the back or the front?
Looks like it was shot in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Telling you, he said, "I'm not gonna sign on with this little girl." And as he was turning and riding away, she shot him in the back.
She wouldn't shoot him in the back. She had somebody else shoot him in the back.
She's got people for that.
She's got people for that.
Chavez will nod to that and say, "It's the best lead that we have. We should go this way, but we should be careful."
Redshirt will point kind of a small trail, and it does start to head down towards the canyon. And he says, "We're gonna have to, walk the horses from here. Trail's, too risky for the horses. If they slip, you're going down." Everyone give me a perception check into the box, please. Sarah, you're kind of listening to it all, and you kind of catch like a little flash of yellow on the out the corner of your eye, and you see what looks like a small piece of yellow, cloth kind of sticking in like a small crevice, like it was blown there.
Thought you were gonna say muzzle flash.
I was gonna call shenanigans because it's like, wait, what? Melissa actually made a roll?
You totally succeeded her roll.
It happens every now and again,
Yep.
just to prove that it can.
Technically, you all succeeded.
Well, it was yellow.
You know, I'm looking at the Google map of the actual place, and it is a lot less traversable than the map that you've given us.
That's why I said ignore the suspend your disbelief for a little bit.
Your map is tame compared to the actual terrain.
Right? I know. I was like, because I saw this and I'm like, oh wow, this is actually a real place. And I pulled it up. I'm like, whoa. But then again, you guys are, you know, kind of the reason why you're in and out and around is to try and look for any kind of hidden spots. So. All right. It does in fact look like what looks like a piece of yellow bandana, but one part of it is charred and burnt. But you know, it doesn't look like it was placed there. It looks, you know, it's only like the corner piece and may have been picked up by the wind.
Chavez will head over to Sarah and take a look.
All right. You kind of look, and sure enough, it does look like it was burned in fire. It looks like, you know, it could have just been, you know, as it was burning, got picked up, you know, and like carried off in the wind, or you know, at some point, and then just kind of lodged in the rocks. But other than that, it doesn't look very remarkable.
Which way is the wind coming from?
Sounds like when the girl took over the gang, she needed to clean house.
Wind's kind of blowing up through the valley, and kind of, so the wind kind of blows up the valley, so everything kind of gets carried like that way. When it, you know, reaches, you know, corners and such like that. So it could have been anywhere in that direction, really. Hold on,
Well, Chavez is going to suggest we move on. We are in the right area.
anywhere. Well, I need to change my color so you guys. Is that easy for you guys to see, or do I need to change my color a little bit?
No, I can see it. It's fine.
Clear enough.
Well, that's clearer.
Mic check.
We hear you.
Yep.
Okay. I don't know why it keeps dying on me.
Cause
All right. Red mentions that, you know, we may want to rest up before heading down there because it's a steep and narrow trail. And it is getting closer to eat. It is, you know, moving. It's starting to get evening time as well. So, he seems pretty easy if you guys want to push and get down to the valley before camping, or if you want to stay up here and camp.
Can we find a good location to camp up here?
Pretty
What-
easily done.
What survival roll is it?
Survival mountains. I'll even give you survival hill. Well, survival mountains most appropriate, but yeah, that's easily done. Success even with. Yep, well done. Hopefully.
All right, so Chavez will suggest that we camp here, and he will point out a location that has comfort and concealment.
Yeah, I was going to say concealment's going to be pretty important in this case.
Easily done. All right. Guys strike camp, and the evening goes by without event. Do you guys have a fire in that, or do you guys keep the fire, or no fire?
Time of year was it?
It's spring. It's probably got a little bit of bite to the air, especially in the mountains here.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
We have concealment, so we can have a small fire.
Yeah, just depends on the level of concealment.
Succeed by 5. It's awesome concealment.
Concealment first, comfort second. And being that you have comfort, you can push the fire without any issues. Alright, well, the evening passes with, unless anyone's got any actions they're taking in the evening. I assume you're posting watch and whatnot.
I kill Red Shirt, so he can't give us away.
Smart.
Red shirt
The killing
dies.
gives them away.
Damn it!
Screams like a girl when you stick him.
You think you
the
catch his
creepy
heart, and
scream
you-
kind of carries through the valley, and all the nooks and so it's just echoing throughout.
Sounds like a Wilhelm.
Chavez will spend the evening sharpening his knives.
Is there any actual knife left now?
Nope.
It's just like a like a little pocket knife now, the blade.
It used to be a Bowie knife, or it started out like a Bowie knife. Now it's a friggin' stiletto.
Yeah.
But damn, it's sharp.
The sharpest stiletto you ever did see.
It's a scalpel.
It's monomolecular.
Right.
Back to the trail.
All right. As you guys kind of start to navigate down the trail and whatnot, come around one of the bends and see this. Where's my?
It needs to be a big steampunk spider.
Oh, that would be kind of fun, but no. Fortunately, I don't have anything planned like that.
I was gonna say naked
What?
naked chick pillow fight.
That would work as well.
So you get a moment where you guys are kind of come down one of the trails, and you have that little outcropping where you guys can kind of look down across the valley and whatnot. And it's pretty impressive. And however, the moment is fleeting when a gunshot rings out.
Was it Fosse? Ooh, or Red Shirt?
Where's the gunshot come from?
Sorry, my bad.
I realize as I look at this map how... Actually, no, I'm wrong. You guys are up here.
To group move.
Anywhere in that green is where you guys can set up. The view is kind of this way. But the narrows kind of move downward from there.
So where's the gunshot come from?
The gunshot, sorry, comes from that direction.
All right.
And Wallinger, like a piece of the stone near Wallinger's head kind of erupts in bits of stone shards.
This place is unstable.
So we would have heard the ricochet first, and then the gunshot.
Nope. You're not that far away. It's all pretty much simultaneous.
Chavez will immediately drop to the ground and look for cover.
Alright, Chavez drops to cover. Wallinger. Slate. Oh, the planned path that you guys were going to go down is that way, by the way. Leads to the base, to the river, and then kind of back up, and then across, and then over to the other side. While you guys are kind of doing that, let's take a quick 5-minute bio. Quick break before we get into super detailed combat.
All right.
Righto.
So push to an intermission.
Back.
Alright. So gunshot rings out.
Drops red shirt because he's a red
Catches
shirt.
catches everyone off guard. Bullet splinters and rock shards kind of explode near Wallinger's near Wallinger.
I shout back that that's rude.
Wallinger, let's see, Chavez takes cover. Slate, what's your actions? Immediate action, like within moments.
Slate
And you guys
will
you guys can position yourselves how you'd like within that green section, other than Wallinger. He's stuck there now.
Slate is for a split second, unsure what to do, but taking a cue from Chavez, he will go for cover.
All right, so you begin to move to cover. Sarah,
Also moving to cover.
Bossy,
Cover, weapons out,
drawing weapons. Jericho,
looking for a target.
I'm going to do something a little different and go for cover.
Whoa,
Ah, damn! I wish I thought of that.
man, people just and say the kid is behind you guys.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the kid. I'm gonna drag the kid to cover.
Drag to cover.
Nothing
Alright.
else. I can use him as cover.
So, for reference, everything is downhill from you guys except for these outcroppings of rock. This is all higher than you. This is all higher than you. Everything else is down. Does that make sense?
The enemy's gate is down. Got it.
Chavez.
Okay, so he's fairly certain he knows where the shots came from, right?
Yeah, it was not far away. It was very distinct, very, close report.
Chavez is going to heroically slide down here onto the level below.
Watch out for that pile of rattlesnakes.
You had to mention rattlesnakes.
Ooh. Go ahead. All right. So, sliding down.
I assume that will be the whole turn, and he'll try and do it all cool like.
Acrobatics to make it look awesome.
Is it wrong? I was hoping for an 18 there.
It looks like you knew what you were doing.
And you're not impaled on a pointy rock.
Or snakes.
It's just really convenient that this natural path zigzagged its way down the slope.
Right.
Man, rain can do wondrous things.
Yeah, switchbacks and all that fun stuff. Slate.
Looking for targets.
From your vantage point, you have none.
Then I'll say, does anybody see him?
All right.
Assuming it has to be more than one.
Well, we only heard the one shot, didn't we?
Yep.
Not to say that there aren't more, but
Right. So I'm probably going to spin this round telling the kid to stay in cover.
All right.
And
looking
I'm
for a
sort of
target.
planning on pursuing Chavez.
All right. From your current position.
And I'm up on the rock.
Okay, so you're give me a quick climb. All I'm making sure is nature doesn't have it out for you and gives you a crit, and you pick a wrong
Like
piece
that?
of rock.
There it is.
All right. So you start
Fuck
to
you, by the
scramble up
way.
the rock.
You get bit in the face by a rattlesnake.
And
I mean, heck, even Han Solo had bad things happen to him on routine things. So you try to scramble up,
like
you
get
grab
stabbed
a
in
loose
the heart
rock,
by his
and you
son.
just kind of like slide right back down to where you were, gaining no ground. but not injuring yourself. You think Red Shirt might have been behind you, kind of laughing or trying not to chortle too much.
So
Better
you need
not
to
be.
murder him.
But when you look, when you kind of do a quick glance, he actually has a very serious look on his face. But it could have been the horse that was laughing at you. You're not sure.
Got to murder him too.
I'll get you, and you're not so little horse too.
All right, Wallinger.
We'll move into cover and begin trying to peek out and see if there are people.
You peeking that way?
Yeah, I'm peeking towards the right.
Okay.
Map right. Towards map right.
Red Shirt kind of like looks at you. It's like it sounded like it came from that way and below us.
I knew that.
And in confirmation of that, let's see. Let me check something.
Shout out to Trooper SJP. Joined us in the chat.
Hello.
Howdy.
Actually joined us in the stream, not the chat.
Stream chat, chat stream.
Just in time to see poor Jericho crit fail.
It's not that unusual.
But it's still funny.
I will say you have cover. Oh, you definitely hear the snap of a bullet that goes whizzing by your head.
Who?
Wallinger. Comes from that. Yeah, I mean the snap and the gunshot all about the same time.
Have we not discussed how rude this is?
Damn it, Sarah! If I had known you were gonna kick off the assassination attempt now.
Shh. Wait, what?
This isn't when we agreed.
Definitely, everyone's pretty darn sure it's coming from directly in that,
I think Sarah is just going to stay low and see if she can get an eyeball on where it's coming from. Like, get an eyeball on the actual person.
Can she throw that far?
Well, she doesn't have the throwing skill, so probably not.
All right.
No, nothing's going to happen to Wallinger, but after this is over, instead of a Stetson, he's going to have a bowler.
That that I've pointed to there, that's higher ground, right?
Yes, that's higher than the terrain. That's probably one of the highest points. That blocks all vision going. Yes.
Alright, so it's fairly safe to assume that the shooter doesn't have line of sight on Chavez at the moment.
Correct.
Chavez will just move then.
Alright.
Try to keep up with Chavez.
Doing the same.
Alright.
Let's have another go at this.
If you roll an 18 this time, that's all she
Oh,
wrote.
that Yeah. It was meant. It was never meant. You're fine. Get up. Let's see. How would that work? I guess you would probably start to spot them. If you can see them, then they can see you, right?
Not
That
necessarily, but
depends. I'm not, just for the record, I'm not standing on top of it. I'm just peeking over it, which
You're in still a rather
has its
awkward
good
spot.
and bad points.
Yeah. That's more flat. So if you're getting to a point where you can look down into the area, I mean, the big issue is you're kind of looking at something sort of like that. You want to be able to look down
Oh,
that way.
okay. You took me a minute to interpret that. Well, I'll pop up as much as I need to pop up in order to see over it, but
right.
Okay.
Here comes Mark and his insane arrows.
I love my arrows.
but it shouldn't. They shouldn't see more than my eyes and the top of my head above my eyes.
Well, they will definitely
Which-
take shots at it.
Has its
Well,
good and bad
that's if
points,
they
as I
see
said.
Let's see. Skull is -7, right?
Uh-huh.
Plus a lot of negatives.
Plus -2 for snapshot
Cover.
or
Yeah.
pop up or whatever the hell it's called.
-9 plus. Let's see. I'll just for this guy.
He needs to roll a 3.
-5.
And if they were aiming at that exact spot, I'm calling shenanigans.
Nope, they weren't. That's why he's getting the -2. So -5 for range, -2 for snapshot, -7 for skull. We're looking at some.
Needs a
Yeah,
3.
the dice must hate you for them to succeed at this.
I don't think they like me very much.
I will just say it would have to be a crit.
Mark, if you ever have to stat yourself in a GURPS character sheet, you need to take the trademark GM arrows.
Arrows
Isn't that
everywhere.
an odious personal habit?
I think I
So-
would write that down as arrow creep.
Like mission creep, only with arrows.
Holy crap, a bunch of them took shots at you.
Well, that's
Yep.
4.
3. I'm sorry, that meant to be only 3. But you can definitely hear the pop, whiz, and bits of rock kind of tear up. But rather
Well-
ineffective fire.
He will duck right back down. Now the question is, would he be able to get a rough count there, based
yeah.
on that very brief view?
Sure, you counted about 4 of them.
All right, he will.
3 of them took shots at you, plus the one
After-
that's been.
After dropping back down, he will signal the number.
Ballinger.
Yep. Wallinger will circle around the rock and
Remember, that rock is taller than you are.
that one is taller. Okay.
Yeah, so that blocks line of sight to them and them to you.
Okay.
They were shooting through that narrow gap, is what.
Ah, that narrow gap. That crap right there. Okay. Yeah, that'll be it this time.
Redshirt will have his pistol out, but he'll look like he's moving to check on the boy. You ain't taking us alive! Stick your head out again, see if we don't blow it off. I wish there was a way I could kind of leave tokens in spot place where you knew they were.
You can totally
You
do that.
can. You just have to get a different token.
That's true.
Or just explain that's where you last saw the guy. He may or may not actually be there.
Yeah, you can hide them.
Oh, also, did he see the flash of yellow?
In fact, you give me a perception roll. Surprisingly enough, no, you did not see any yellow. Alright. Sarah.
There's not a lot she can do. She's sure not going to be climbing anything.
She could run out there and flash him.
No.
Everybody stops fighting.
You
She
kind
could
of
run out there and flash us.
That's how Sarah gets naked.
Backs to you.
I could get
Anyway.
naked.
All right. Well, I guess she's going to just hold position and just take a wait. And as soon as she sees somebody, she will shoot.
Anybody at all?
Chavez will make a couple of rolls. Now I'm assuming that that change in elevation is, a yard or two.
Yeah, it's about a yard or two. Now, going in that direction, you're going downhill.
Yep, that's all right.
Okay. So as you go further down, that elevation next to you it's higher, but you knew that.
Chavez is sort of heading for there.
Gotcha.
All right, so Chavez will leap from the edge of the level above, land on the level below in a superhero landing that goes into a roll, and he keeps running because he's awesome like that.
I'll take a full move.
All right.
Okay. Jericho's gonna roll out of the way a bit. And he's gonna stick the rifle up, blind fire in that general direction.
You gotta roll to the top of that little flat spot.
Yeah, he's working his way up, but right now he's just sticking the gun up and shooting.
All right. Let's see.
Wallinger, his direction now corrected, will begin making the other way around.
Trying to determine if Jericho would have any kind of line of sight while prone at the moment, and if so, would they get any line of sight on him?
Well, they're quite a bit lower than he is.
Yeah, it's kind of what I'm thinking. So you're just getting to where you can kind of put the rifle over and just kind of make a couple shots.
No, I mean he's holding it up over him and firing down. Not
Okay.
not with a stock weld, just sticking it around the corner. Or
Got it.
over the corner in this case.
Okay. He makes his way back to the kid. You run away now. No one needs to die.
Then you can leave just as easily.
All right.
Still nothing really to see.
Not from where you're at. You're pretty certain all the fighting's is happening down the hill from where you see Wallinger and Jericho kind of trying to look downward. So it looks like you guys are up and above them, shooting down towards them. But your current location, you're unable to look down
Okay.
from there.
All right. So she'll just kind of, I guess, start moving forward then.
Just moving.
All right.
Keep moving.
Roger.
You're gonna DFA those guys, aren't you?
Yep, moving.
DFA.
Death from above.
Let's see. We'll call this. Yeah, he's gonna crawl up and basically pop up to see if he can see him.
Okay.
Ping.
All right. So, Duke. One will take a shot at you. He was aiming, and he was taking aim on those hexes.
And when I say pop up, I mean pop up and back down.
Right, I know.
Just for clarity.
It's like -2 for the pop up.
Don't want to leave that to chance.
So you pop up. This guy here, Russell or number 3, is taking aim up at the top of that cliff face. He will take a -2 plus a minus, so he'll take the -6, but gain. Wow, you're only going to give him your head to look at, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. And barely that.
So 4 minus 2 is minus 6. Minus 7 is still a lot.
Well, he still be focused on me and not Wallinger.
You say that hoping that he doesn't roll a 3 and blow your brains out.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
So minus 6 minus 7 is minus 13 plus 3. It's just minus 10. Oh, come on. Oh, it fails all around. How did I do twice? Or must have clicked it twice.
You got multiple targets selected.
No, I think it was just, I think I clicked it twice. But no, the shot goes wild and over your head.
Wide,
But
wild, whatever.
and then you duck back down. Bollinger.
1 moment, please. Experiencing difficulties.
Oh, do you need me to replace your...
Yes, please. I did the right click thing.
The right click thing?
Yeah, if you're dragging the token and right click it, it does some weird shenanigans that I don't fully understand.
Not familiar.
Now I'm gonna have to experiment.
Launcher will stand here at the ledge. And by stand, I mean kneel.
And there was a shot that just went off, so he's got
Yep.
an idea where number 3 is.
Are you kneeling or crouching?
Kneeling.
I don't know what weird shenanigans you're talking about. I can't make it do anything.
Me either.
I'll do... Yeah, and then I'll just chill it here and wait for the move and shoot penalty to go away.
Okay, so you take a... Oh, alright.
Yeah,
You can do a step and a shot if you...
Oh, yeah, alright.
That's all you looked like you did was one. Yeah. You basically went there, right?
Yeah.
All right. So who are you shooting at? So let's see. So with a minus 4. Crouching, does that give you anything? Any bonuses?
Depends
Defense
on the
bonuses?
target. It should be -2.
So even with a minus 6, you still technically succeed by 1.
Bang!
Kerpow. Alright. Give me some damage.
That's wimpy.
It's PI
Yeah,
plus,
that could have
dude.
been more impressive.
Yeah.
Alright, so 10 points minus, let's see, leather is 1.
Straight to the chest.
It's, so 1.5 times for PI plus, right?
Roger.
So 13 total points of damage. Ow. Forcing him to make a health roll. She succeeds. But he ain't happy. Next. Red shirt will, keep
He
an eye
will
on the
murder
kid.
the boy.
Yeah, murders the boy. Well, you guys don't know that. Can't see it. Sarah might hear
Or
a
maybe the
quick,
boy
"Ah!"
murders him.
Man, see, now you're giving me all
No,
these cool ideas that I could have gone with, and I'm
the
like,
little
man.
the little girl said we're gonna have tryouts.
Nice.
All right, so Wallinger, you can see 3, and let's see.
Well, it makes sense after all. It is Rad Skirter's holodeck program.
You just don't realize he's taken the form of the Indian right now. Okay. So Rustler number 2 is going to take aim.
They're using rifles.
Yep. Sarah.
Just moving.
All right. Let me just count something up. I should have had this pre-prepped.
Actually, I think Chavez, you do see.
Chavez will acrobatics or jump acrobatic roll to there. Hopefully not breaking his leg. He will also be using stealth to try and do it as quietly as possible.
Okay.
Since he moved more than one, he's at -5. But he's awesome.
But he's awesome. It wouldn't have mattered. He failed his perception anyway.
You didn't
I'm back.
DFA
We'll
him.
move.
You lose cool points.
Chavez is going to tap this guy on the shoulder down the bottom here. Actually, he's going to fast draw his pistol.
Right, did you... Okay, yeah, never mind.
Crap. Jericho's gonna go to a knee, but keeping his head down below the not skyline.
If you take a knee, you're going to bring yourself up where they can see you.
What I'm saying is he's keeping bent down.
I am going to. Oh, are you done? My apologies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just want to make sure. Henry is going to fire off a few. Basically try to suppress a fire. Just fire off a round here or there. Try to make them keep their heads down. Not shoot at anyone specific or attempt to hit or anything.
Are any of these guys by any chance wearing some ex-army uniform stuff?
No. Not that you can tell. No, they don't look like they're wearing any kind of uniform.
I mean, like ex-army, so maybe they kept the hat or something.
No. All right. What was Wallinger doing?
He was doing the suppress the fire, trying to make them keep their heads down.
So what's the rate of fire for the rifle?
Rifle rate of fire is 2.
Oh, can you suppress a fire with 2?
Oh, you can't actually do this suppressive fire. He's just firing and hoping that that will get their attention.
Yeah.
Not literally.
Oh, so you're just taking 2 shots at wrestler number 3, or?
Yeah, whoever shot the most recently.
3 is who you shot most recently, and you did notice wrestler number 2 kind of pointing his rifle in your direction the last round.
Then number 2 is gonna get a few rounds in his general area, and not necessarily at him.
So 2 unaimed shots at wrestler number 2.
He's not actually trying to hit him.
Is he not?
You made it seem like I wasn't, even though that was my intention, was to not.
Okay. So you're not intending to actually shoot to hit him.
Correct. I'm shooting at him, not shooting him.
Okay. Give me an intimidate roll. I don't know. How would that work?
Ignore it.
Okay.
Unless it's applicable.
I think there is like suppressive fire, where on a 9 or less or range penalties, whichever's worse, you can accidentally score a hit.
The way that mechanic works, it's impossible to do it with a rate of fire of 2.
Right.
So you're just okay. So you were taking shots.
You just have to play that out.
So you take a couple shots in his direction. Let's see. Give me a. Let's see if he flinches.
Just let him know you're there.
I can see who.
So does he flinch? Nope, he doesn't flinch. He maintains his aim. Where'd my number 1 go? That's weird. Why do I have 2 number 4s?
Do you have 2 number 4s?
Or maybe not. Maybe it was rather than 1. Okay.
There's some shenaniganry going on here.
Alright. What do you mean?
Just that.
he kind of takes a shuffle over to get a line of sight. The hill.
Wallinger needs to throw his hat out there and they'll shoot at it.
Let's see, wrestler number 2 will take his shot at Wallinger. Let's see, Wallinger's crouch, so that's a -2. He is -6, so -8, +3. And the shot goes wide. Wrestler number 3 takes a step forward. He will go to a sit and use as much cover as he can. You gain full cover from you guys. Four. And do you guys hear him? You hear something moving up. You hear some rustle of rocks and stuff kind of crumble below you, Jericho and Wallinger. Well, assuming, Give me some easy perception checks from Jericho and Wallinger.
Can we just automatically succeed them?
No, because there's a gunfight going on and everyone's like worried that they don't. No one wants to get shot.
Is everybody gun fu fighting?
Everyone's gun fu fighting, and yes, Jericho, you definitely hear. It sounds like someone, rocks and stuff getting knocked around below you. Like
Rocks fall?
might be rocks falling. Yes, not necessarily.
So that means we need to act fast to steal Jericho's kill.
Right.
Bunch of bastards.
And Sarah.
And I'm guessing none of them are still in my line of sight right now.
No.
All right. Sarah's gonna crouch. And I think this is what she's going to do. She's going to try to distract them by just checking rocks and trying to make noise in areas where we don't, like Slate and Jericho and all them are not.
All right.
Try to get the cattle wrestlers to take their eyes off of where our guys are, just long enough for them to get some shots off. So like there.
Let's see. Actually, just throw a few rocks and such, creating noise.
Yeah, basically trying to make some noise, like in a couple of areas where we don't have people.
Rightio.
Maybe even give them the idea that there are more of us than they think.
Chavez will fast draw a knife
All right.
Move to there. Does his stealth roll he made before, does it still count? Or has the situation changed?
Sure. It still counts.
Bah, you should have made him roll it again.
And so this guy hasn't noticed Chavez at this point?
Nope. Or he was taking aim in Wallinger's direction.
So he's aiming?
He's kind of, he's sighted down his rifle, crouched up against the rock face and focused on what's going on over there.
Alright, so he presently has aim. So if Wallinger pokes his head up, he's going to get shot at. With aim. Okay, in that case, Chavez will throw. So that's a move and attack.
Both 1 and 2 look like they're aiming in the direction of Wallinger and Jericho. And you can see number 4 kind of creeping up, trying to, with the pistol drawn, creeping around the mountain. Look like he's trying to sneak.
I don't know, what do you reckon the odds of rolling an 11 are?
About 50-50?
Statistically, or, in fantasy grounds.
Well, Chavez is gonna try. Just for reference, Chavez failed his nightmares roll, so last night he suffered some nightmares and is -1 fatigue. He will, however, use extra effort for this knife throw.
Don't give him your knife.
Extra
Well,
effort for what?
The throw damage. Damn it.
Whiff! Clang!
Actually,
point.
we got plot points.
Yes, you do.
Oh yeah.
So I can turn that into a success with a plot point.
You can re-roll for 1 plot point. For 2, you can turn it into a success.
And we can't save up plot points, can we?
Nope.
I don't mind if you used to.
Well, it's his. They're individual.
Well, you can.
Oh, okay. I thought. Well, we have party ones too.
I think we can use character points too here.
Is there party plot points?
No, there's not party plot points. It's just individual group or individual.
Oh, my
Each
mistake.
individual has 2 plot points.
Can I re-roll twice using 2 points if necessary?
Yep. I'll allow
Why
it.
would you do that?
Because I'd like to keep 1 to flesh wound if I have to.
But you could roll 2 failures again.
I know, that's the risk.
Okay.
All same modifiers.
So I'm actually rolling an 11. I'm not going to put the modifiers in again.
Okay. Success!
Bingo!
In the vitals. He is not dodging because he doesn't know it's coming. Probably like in the kidney. Ugh. So, alright, so impaling, that's +2, so 4 points, -1 for the leather armor, so 3 becomes. That's impale. Our vitals is what? Times 3?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
So do you do the impaling modifier first? So 3 becomes what?
It's just
4?
times 3.
Oh, okay. So 3 becomes 9, right?
Minus the
Yep.
DR first.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
4 goes to 3 becomes 9.
And then he has, if that was a major wound,
It was.
it's a health minus 5.
Right in his breakfast.
And then he arches his back dramatically and then falls forward onto the rocks.
And
yeah.
he's up.
He has to reach back for it and then tumble off.
Mm-hmm.
Taking the knife away.
Kind of does the whole.
I said, don't
bloody,
give him your knife.
Kind of does the so, yeah, exactly. Does the arching back, reaches around and kind of get it, pulls it out, stares at it like in shock, and then kind of does the "but why?" and falls off the cliff.
He
Takes
was
like
just
5
2 days away
seconds.
from retirement.
Exactly.
It is a Western.
Exactly.
Failed by 4 would also mean he's prone, drops everything, and is stunned.
Yep, that's why he fell off the whole cliff. Like I said,
He's out.
through the knife,
He's out.
does the knife arch back thing like, oh, pulls it, look, reaches ground, grabs it, stares at you for a second, and the bloody knife, the knife falls to the ground and he kind of tumbles over, passing out off the cliff.
So
Not a very-
Chavez is going to have to go down that cliff to get his knife back.
I mean, it's not a very far cliff at this point, but it's still a fall. But the camera angle keeps it so it looks like he just falls.
Did you take damage in the fall?
Sure.
Yeah,
He's
that's
out.
why he's unconscious.
Yeah, he's done. He's out of the fight.
Alright. Chavez is happy.
He's not.
Is he really?
My Laban! Slate.
All right. How long will it take me to climb up to that ridge, considering that I have a rifle in one hand?
Let's see. It's probably we'll call it 5 meters higher than where you are.
5 meters.
Oh my gosh. I guess I'm going to go around then. I will take a move along the base.
Well, maybe not 5 meters. We'll call it 4.
Still.
Or
That's
yeah.
friggin'
It's
That's
only
well,
1
almost 2
yard.
stories.
Yeah, it's only 1 yard ahead, and it's 4 yards high. So I'm not going to climb that with a rifle in my hand. I'm going to go along the ridge here.
Yeah, it is a little steep peak thing.
Probably the closest thing you do is go for that gap right there.
Yeah, that's the direction I'm moving. But I am, I don't know that guy. I don't know that guy is right there, but I know that there are guys there. So I'm slicing the pie around the ridge. I'm not going to just walk out there. So my destination is here, but if I can see him before I get there, I'm going to stop.
I'll say you see what looks like a shape of a person moving like through the kind of a gap a little bit. Maybe like the barest top of his brim of his hat moving in that.
I freeze
uphill
and take
that way.
aim. So aim.
Okay.
I believe from there he can actually see number 1.
Yes, you can.
Right, then I'm going to be doing a move and attack. Providing I can make sure I get everything there. Yeah. With an additional, what is that? That's -3. Bang, bang.
And he did not see you coming up over the ridge.
Well, that sucks. Here's the first one. And the second one. Which really sucked.
Alright, so that'll be
All right,
10.
hit location. That's amusing.
Alright, shot him in an artery.
I shot him in a shoulder.
Not just the shoulder, but it looks like he took an artery with it. Yeah.
And that was the more damagey.
Yep, that was the one that, yeah. So you
11
completely
points.
disabled his arm. Is what, it's impaling.
PI plus.
Yep, so damage, that would be 10, so that becomes 15, basically. For
He
wound
didn't need that
purposes.
arm.
See, arm is
Says hit point over. Oh, that's crippling with injury over hit point /3.
so it's a crippling injury
yeah,
for sure.
that thing's crippled.
But is it double? Let's see.
Excess injury is lost.
Right, but dismemberment is still required. Twice the injury needed to cripple. So he's got what is that? 11 hit points, and was a third of that is what 3 or 4 points. So 4 times double that is 8. So you effectively severed his arm. It's just hanging on by the flesh.
Hey, it's like Godless.
Yeah, that's going to be a serious health check.
Yep.
And he's going to bleed out in a couple of seconds.
Yep, and he's gonna die. Yeah. So I'm just gonna call that like a kind of does the shot, tumbles over, his arm kind of falls in a
Nope.
weird angle as you
Now he has
shatter all
to
the bones in
throw his
shoulder.
arms up.
Just one of them.
The other one kind of flops in a weird, like boneless, like all his whole shoulder blade just shattered at the impact of the bullet.
Yeah, that's it. He throws his hands up dramatically, but one of them keeps going.
Right.
Right, well, hopefully that got somebody's attention and there are fewer guns aimed at my... Actually, that probably is the ones aimed at me. Anyway, stand and do a pop-up fire at number 4.
Okay.
And pop back down. Which is probably not going to hit.
Oh, you're a -2 and a -2, so -4. Oh, then his -2.
But I fired at him. And I'm back down to a crouch.
The number 4. All right.
Okay. You will be shot.
All right. You whip around. Okay. You miss.
Yep. Henry cries a little on the inside.
It's like, oh no.
That was not what I had planned.
The wrestler number 1 is like wrestler number 2 is, for all intents and purposes, dead. 3 is doing the I've been shot. I'm bleeding, guys. I see my own blood. Help!
It's
I don't
getting
wanna
dark.
die. I don't want to die. And 4 is like, holy crap! This guy just jumped out in front of me. And he will take a shot at you. At a -3, -5, I guess, because you're crouched too. And he was not expecting both a shot from above and for Wallinger to come around, so he takes a step back, forgetting that there's a cliff.
Don't. Hate it when that happens.
And tumbles down.
Bye.
Leaving his pistol behind. Alright.
Dibs.
It's not that great.
Fight's not over yet. You can't call dibs now. It's like calling shotgun before you even left the building.
Everybody knows you
What?
can't
Who
call
called
shotgun if you can't
dibs?
see this guy.
Yeah, you have to be
Was it
out of
Wallinger called dibs on that pistol? I totally need to step out and shoot it. He was going for it.
It's like 10 yards away.
I didn't say he was going fast.
Chavez will just be moving.
Alright, I assume as I aimed, I was able to identify that this is not one of our party. Right?
Yeah. I mean, there was
Actually,
like
yeah, you saw
gunfire
that guy.
went up and above. Yeah.
You saw that guy fall backward.
Oh,
But he didn't go flying backwards, so that means he wasn't shot with Wallinger's elephant gun.
so that was 3? It's no longer in sight?
Yeah, number 4 is no longer in sight.
Oh, 4 was the one I could see. Okay, I thought
Yeah.
it was 3.
Yeah, 3 is kind of crouched, or he's kind of sitting with his back against the rise, using it as best as cover as he can, hoping, looking at his own, holding a bullet wound with blood coming out, crying and whining. You guys can all hear him. He sounded tough initially. Now he's like, I'm bleeding, guys. I'm dying.
Alright, in that case, I'm going to take a wait for one of the remaining ones to show himself.
And you heard number 4 curse and, fall and, just sounded awful.
Moving. Oh, hey,
Alright.
there's a dude there. Yeah, so this dude's falling.
He fell, and he's like now on his hands and knees on the ground.
So does he have a weapon out?
Nope.
Right, then I'm gonna shoot him.
Does he have a gun?
You want
No.
to shoot him before he gets his weapon. That's
Damn
the most effective
straight.
time.
It's the only time to be sure. He's not going to shoot you back. Well, it ain't dodging. Oh, the face?
Yeah.
Well, technically, if he's crawling, that would be the back of his head.
Yep. I'm shooting his face through the back of his head.
Aim for the nose.
All right. Well, there's a.
He had a bald spot. Made a convenient target.
That makes me uncomfortable.
And that's it. After a few moments, there's all
Clear.
you can hear is like one guy's like, "I didn't make it. I don't want to die." Zeke.
Hey Chavez, throw him
See
off
you
the
out
cliff,
there.
please.
Make him go away.
Done.
Don't
For
kill
God's
me.
sakes. For God's sakes, die.
All right. So what do you guys do with this poor guy? Rustler number 1 is not long for this world. He's going to die
Yeah.
unless you guys can surgically repair his arm. He's going to bleed to death one way or the other. And you guys don't have Doc.
The one that's actually still conscious, we need to see if he knows where the Presidente's gang is. Since they are clearly not among them. Unless they're dumping their dumping the yellow sash thing.
They got fired. The girl kicked him out.
All right. So.
Right, we
What
need
is-
to interrogate these dudes.
All right,
Or
well,
the dude.
Dude, yeah. 4 is dead. 2 is dead, and 1 is, well, effectively dead. Even if you brought him back, you guys don't have the medical requirement to keep him alive.
Chavez will recover his knife and search the body while he's at it.
So what you're saying is if we don't have a medic, we don't have any reason to actually try to take them alive, do we?
Well,
Or,
What is this
no.
take them alive thing?
we don't have any reason to try to keep them alive.
the kid could probably keep, he has first aid capabilities, not surgery.
We're kind of scum, aren't we?
No prisoners.
None of you guys
Right,
have
so there's
first aid?
one of them we can interrogate. Is that right?
Oh, Wallinger has first aid.
Yes, I do. I was just thinking, wait a minute, don't I have that?
Yeah, I thought
Yes,
I
I
thought
do.
somebody did.
There we go. Well, I tried.
Well, you could probably. You have a first aid kit, right? That's at least a +1. Even at this time, yeah.
I do have a first aid kit. I was about to say
So
my first
that's
aid
a
kit is
success
my
by
Colt.
0. Well, Rustler number 3, give me a D6 roll.
Here's
No,
some
it's like-
It
laudanum.
didn't land in the box.
Now shut up.
Who shot
1
3?
point.
I went from a 6 to a 1. That's just mean.
Why did it just throw that
I
up
don't know.
again?
Cause
You may have clicked and held it.
No, I'm not even near the. The thing isn't
Maybe I
even
clicked
near
and
the
held it. I
thing.
don't know.
Yeah. So who shot 3 again?
Wallinger.
Ah. With that elephant gun.
Yep, he went to -2.
that's not an elephant gun. That's a Winchester 76.
It's just a big bullet.
I was thinking
Lots
he
of
had
powder.
a bigger gun.
No, he's got that lever action.
The rifleman.
That guy. But you can't fan those, by the way.
Right. So we probably need to interrogate this dude.
All right.
You should tell me what you know. What were we trying to find out?
If you knew where the Presidente's gang is.
Right.
All right. Give me one moment. He knows. He can tell you that it's like I know who El Presidente is, and where his gang is too.
I'm listening.
They're hideout. It's over near the Great White Throne.
Damn it, Jericho.
It's kind of on the other side of the valley.
How many are there?
About 12 of us, or there used to be.
Of
We
us.
killed one of
Okay.
them. I mean, there were 12 of them. Them.
Yep,
We killed
got it.
one of them just the other day.
That's because the girl kicked you out, right?
Girl. Oh, that girl? Oh my gosh, she's so annoying. Oh, yeah. Presidente's got a girl, but I mean, she's not in charge or anything. I mean,
Uh-huh.
Well, you put her in charge.
Well,
And then as you're saying that, Danny is like, comes up, is like, my sister, you've seen my sister, and he tries to run up on the guy,
well, I'm not going to stop him.
and he kind of grabs him by the shirt, and like, kind of punches him in the face once, like, "Where's my sister, you scumbag?"
Who's our best fisticuffs guy?
Probably Slate.
Because I'm totally thinking you need to go, hey, that's not how you do it, and then show him how to actually punch the dude.
Like, get this kid on me. Like I said, the entrance is like it's over near the throne down Echo Canyon. They even got the cows over in the Echo Canyon.
Well, I think we got what we need. Do we
Where's
throw
the
him
camp?
off the cliff?
They probably
Probably
got
not.
horses or something over here.
Ooh, new horses. Wait, there were 4, so it's like 2 horses go to Wallinger, 2 horses go to Ponty.
Chavez, give me a quick tracking or perception roll, whichever one you like best.
Tracking.
You notice in the fire, like near, is what looks like some burnt pieces of yellow cloth.
See, I'm telling you, they were trying to get away from the girl.
I'm dying, but at least I'll be rid of her.
Nope.
If she's that annoying.
All right.
All
So what are you
right,
doing
so
with
we
him?
gotta.
Eventually, Red Shirt will kind of pull the kid, hold the kid away. But yeah, he does allow the kid to vent a few moments.
Right, so what do we do with this guy?
No, let him go.
Why would we do that? They're bad guys.
There's only one
wait.
of them. He's only half. He may not live.
I'm telling you, we're getting out of the business. I swear. Here, you can even have the silver. Just let me go.
Mrs. Ponte says, "Do unto others as you would have them do unto you." I say, let him go.
Does she really say that?
This would be Sarah Ponte's mother.
Ah, okay.
Is she around?
No.
Well, Slate knew her.
But Slate
Oh,
kind of
okay.
grew up as kind of a de facto one of the children in the area.
On the ranch, in fact.
Right. Let him go or don't. Anybody don't want to let him go? Other than Fosse.
I don't particularly care.
Chavez is somewhat pacifistic, so he'd rather let them go than murderize them.
I think we got more let him goes than not.
Well, you're all pretty certain, as wounded as he is, he doesn't have a lot. His chances are extremely high. But he's like, wait, you're just gonna leave me here? I'll die.
Well, maybe you should head back towards the town and surrender yourself.
That's like miles away.
Yep. Better get walking.
Kind of
As
does
we
the
divest them of
dejected
their-
kind of like
We
stumble
divest
kind of.
them of their weapons and
Yeah, he kind of does the stumble walk thing, kind of down towards the river valley. And
we are
as
totally going to see a ninja cougar. Take him out.
and after a bit, he kind of just does he finally kind of you lose sight of him as he kind of does the stumble walk and stops and catches his breath, that kind of thing. All right.
Are they playing the Hulk music?
I didn't think of that. That's awesome.
All
And then
right.
we're going to hear a hideous scream as the ninja cougar
And
tackles.
then a roar followed by a scream.
Hey, this could be the beginning of a beautiful adventure story of redemption.
I was given a chance. I was given a second chance.
And I'm going to use it to become the world's greatest criminal.
I'll never get caught again. Right, moving on.
I can't believe I closed my map.
Well, now that we've got a better destination in mind, does that change our itinerary?
Well, he will tell you that our Echo Canyon is here. Or and you guys are basically now right about kind of somewhere in and around here ish.
All of these arrows.
We're entering
The
the
Echo
dangerous
Canyon
forest of
falls
arrows.
that way.
That would be
And he
weird.
claims that the camp is near the Great White Throne. But he also mentioned that they keep they pasture, or they have a they graze the cows in one of the smaller canyons. That one and that one. Red thinks that more than likely the cows would be there because people have come up the canyon looking and haven't seen anything.
Very well.
Should have an icon for you guys. Party icon. Sure. That'll work. Probably go up there. So,
Time of day?
it's probably mid-morning. Closing towards.
Right.
Yeah. It's not very late, yeah.
Let's see. That is going to be 1.5 miles or so. We should probably scout it. So we
Alright.
should be able to probably stay on the north side of the canyon there and look down and see if we can see anything.
The train does slope back upwards, so on that side.
Scouts out.
Actually, I have a cool pick for you guys for Echo Canyon.
It better be cool.
Well, okay, maybe it's not that cool, but I think it's cool. Let's see. Let's see. Give me 1 moment. I just got to go up here.
We already gave you 3 moments.
There you go. So the canyon kind of is just so you'd have to be either
There's the
straight down
girl.
it or. Yep, found her. She's wearing really weird clothes.
Oh, I thought we were all just gonna throw arrows at her.
Pew pew. And that was the side mission, you guys. Mission success. And you guys thought it was going to be all convoluted, complicated. Just hanging out. They ejected her from their gang. She was annoying. All right. So, who's all on the scouting party?
Chavez, of course.
All right.
Anybody other than the usuals?
Probably not. I've only got a stealth of 12.
And mine's worse.
So be it. Unless Red wants to go.
He'll stay with the kid. All right. So give me
Probably go without the horses in this case, since it's not that far.
Horses also makes you a lot easier to spot. They're
And because of that.
all right. So give me okay. I got tracking roll from Chavez and I need a tracking roll from Chavez and okay. And
He doesn't need my
stealth
help.
rolls. Yep. And give me a couple, just 2 stealths from each of you. Mostly just to give you general how much noise you're making. Okay, never mind. Anyway, so like the breeze, you guys kind of move through the canyon. Are you going to move? How are you guys moving? Up, through, near?
They're going to bleed all the bad guys before we are even aware of it.
Right. All right. You definitely catch signs of livestock having trampled brush. It's actually pretty impressive how they've been able to kind of funnel the cattle through. And you find a couple of fresh horse patties. You guess not more than a day or so old. There's a small area along this where there was some grass where it definitely looks like it's been grazed recently. And as you kind of continue to move around a steep little sandstone outcropping, you see a span of relatively flat land stretched out between the canyon rock walls, and the precipice kind of drops back into the canyon. Towards the far end of that flat, about 100 yards away, you can see where there's a penned in near the end of the cul-de-sac of sandstone. You see a small herd of cattle and several horses grazing. At the south end of that, you see about 60 yards away, you see a half dozen cowpokes resting around a small campfire. Hold on, I will give you that image.
Yellow sashes, I presume.
Yep. Come on, I just minimize. Sorry, I don't have the baddies on there yet. It's basically where you're kind of popping yourselves out.
Right.
Chavez will shout, "Over here! Over here! Over here! Over here!" Does the canyon actually echo lots?
Yes, it does. All right, so that's kind of what you get a glimpse of. So that's kind of what you guys got. Sneaking about stuff. There's actually a few more cows than that as well. It's about a score, about 20 cows in total.
It's probably close enough you could just make out El Presidente if we saw him. Do we saw him?
You don't see anyone that looks like anyone that you recognize. No one matches El Presidente's look over there.
Chavez will say, "He is not there."
Nope, you're pretty certain you don't see him.
Jericho's gonna thumb back in the direction of everybody else and give that question look.
Chavez will just nod, trying not to make too much noise in this canyon. And we'll head back with Jericho.
All right. So you kind of make your way back easily enough without any further encounters. It's funny. I realize that actually says 2 Hidden Canyon Trail on the map.
Well, it's good that it labels those things.
Yeah.
Danger, ambush ahead.
Right? PCs, don't look here. So, that's what you just gotta...
okay. We should be coming in from the other direction.
Well, this isn't necessary. North is actually technically... hold on. Actually, I'm sorry. This was the before one. This is this valley here. Sorry.
Oh.
My bad.
Well, then it
wait.
slightly less sense.
No. That is this one here. It's just this is
Oh,
not north-south facing.
Right. Now I was thinking of this one, the actual Echo Canyon part. Because it looks similar.
The canyon part is like this lower piece here, like you're kind of came, I'm assuming after a bit you kind of came across like that. Anyway. Let me throw this, where's my compass? I think it's kind of, sort of like that. If I'm... I can't ever.
Not
I can't.
terribly important.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So you're kind of in this little canyon area right here. Sorta, kind of. In that region somewhere. Alright. So you pass on the information to your mates. They don't seem to be too alert or...
Chavez will go and
Expecting
wake
anything?
them up.
Oh, okay.
Our group, since they're all very quiet.
Yeah, so we probably want to avoid just going in there shooting.
Well, El Presidente is not there, so we need to make sure that these are actually the people that we're looking for.
Oh, you saw the bandanas.
All right, and that was clearly them.
Yeah, definitely part of the gang.
Because we care less about them and more about the girl. Man, I hope there's not a hidden canyon trail or anything.
Right? Wouldn't want anything to be, like, just show up out of the blue.
Not very hidden, since that's the only other way out of the canyon.
You're pretty certain they kind of use this paths to kind of take their whatever stolen herds from grazing spot to grazing spot.
How the hell were they not able to track that?
They've been
I can
hiding
see.
in the
Girl was
trail.
paying him off.
Moving the cattle through the river.
Yeah, but
They didn't have a badass Indian tracker like we did.
I
And
got red shirt.
well, you do find out from over time that Red Shirt and his tribe don't enter the valley itself. They believe it to be sacred. So the actual river valley itself, they don't generally kind of go through. So the only people that have been tracking through that have been like white folk, paleface.
Jericho's white. He's got a 14.
Yeah, but you've only just showed
You're a
up,
PC.
and you just showed up.
I'm white and I got a 12. And I'm from a frickin' city. So,
if I don't your
what's
past
the
well.
best way to do this?
Well, my
I guess
original,
we could sneak.
my initial
ahead.
thinking was to come from the south right around sundown. That way we got the sun at our backs. Come from the top of the canyon.
From that direction?
Oh, well, yeah, I'm looking at the other map, but whichever way south is. I think we came in, we were expecting to be coming in from the north, so if the direction we came in from was the north, we would be coming in from the other end. Although I guess that's not quite right. I guess the sun would be more eastish than southish at that point. Yeah, however it goes. Just figure sun at the back.
Perhaps we could, catch one of the guys unawares and interrogate him, saving us having to murder all these people.
Yeah, murdering's easier.
They all seem bad.
So they got little flashing red
They do.
exclamation marks.
The yellow sash
you're-
is kind of like a skull on the uniform.
So they're the baddies.
Are the baddies?
That is a hilarious clip, that one.
It is.
Well, they're there with their cows. We could try to get their cows to take off running and then pick them off.
Did that stampede business leave a mark?
Maybe.
She wants to retaliate and go, "How do you like it?" I like that idea. That's funny.
I'm trying to think. I guess the cows would probably go that way.
Of course,
They don't end up knocking each other off into the.
Wallinger's got to be looking at those cows going, how many did I lose?
Exactly.
Ooh, that's a good point. Need to sneak in there and see if they're some of yours. And if they are, then it's like, yep, murder's back on the menu, boys.
A little bit of murder pop inside.
A little torture on top.
Well, Chavez is not keen to just straight up murder. And he'll probably argue against any suggestions to that effect. However, if they start shooting at Chavez, then yeah, it's a different story.
So if they try to kill you, you'll try to kill them right back.
Right, but I'm not going to provoke them to kill me first.
Well, that's the easy way around that rule.
Yes, but that is a workaround. I don't think that is the intention of the rule. You can't be a pacifist if you provoke a fight just so you get to kill them.
Well, we're not going to sneak up on these guys within, slapping range. It's a little too open in there. if we're gonna sneak, we'd have to be shooting them off the canyon walls or something. Now
If
we
we
could
have,
just walk in there.
if we have a couple of people with rifles, they can set themselves up for some long shots. And on a signal, Jericho and Chavez could sneak up around close to them in the in that riverbed area. Then on a signal, the people with rifles can fire some warning shots when they look to that direction to find out where they are. Then we jump up and pistols aimed at them and say freeze or you'll get shot.
The problem with warning shots is they sound exactly like kill shots.
As long as you're not getting the snap over your head.
Well, the warning shots could be, if they've got we call it a billy. What do you guys call boiling up some tea on a fire or water on a fire?
Boiling
Kettle?
water.
Like a kettle, but it's like we call it a billy. It's just basically a tin.
I don't think we have a name for it.
Kettle.
Call it
That's
a
the only thing.
teapot.
Teapot. So they could take a shot at the teapot or something like that. That's a fairly clear indicator. You have to be a good
Shoot
shot
their
though.
coffee?
Oh yeah, that causes them to. They're like, oh, it's on now.
They go full rage mode then.
You shut our coffee, you bastard!
No.
That was imported from Colombia. We
Either-
just ground it last night.
Either way, we could jump
Stole
up.
it off somebody just recently.
We could jump up and say that was a warning shot if they didn't get the idea. Then, if they pull guns and try and shoot, then we can murder them.
Well, generally speaking, I'm more or less in favor of the sneaky guys sneak up while the rest of them don't, and do the long range thing. I'm not sure how to improve our chances there, except to potentially come up from the south, where it's a little more cover-like.
Yeah. -8.
So,
What's
how
the
many-
accuracy on a rifle?
the
3.
1873 is +3. Yeah.
So it's still a difficult shot. -5, -3 with full aim.
Let's see.
Do we have skilled rifle people?
I have a 14.
Actually, you could all-out attack as well, so
Yeah.
-2.
Only a 12.
And
It's
Wallinger's
doable.
And if you do a,
yeah, because Wallinger's at 16 with the +3, and then what you can max aim for another +1 on top of that, so +4.
Not going to do anything fancy from that range, but yeah, it's
I'd be able to put a
doable.
hole in somewhere.
Can't you take more extra aim than just one?
But it's
Yeah.
not out of the question.
+2
that,
total.
it's not out of the
Act
question.
+2.
Not out of the question that the less sneaky types could just stay up at the top of the canyons, sort of circle around whatever direction that is. Is that north? Is that what it is now?
Kind of northish. So that's the best I
Okay.
think.
So that's probably the
rivers-
direct. That would have had to have been the direction we came in then.
No, because you still came in from the west side.
Yeah, that's west.
Which is yours? No. West is that way. I threw the
No.
compass rose on there.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. If north is that way, that makes west that way.
Yep.
We came in and northwest being that way.
No, you came in from the southwest.
No, we came in from the north.
Well, okay. Yeah, this is kind of a weird.
Yeah, you really should rotate this stupid map.
Yeah, because this is on the south side of that east-west, southwest to northeast running river.
It's okay.
Right.
My brain's capable of the mental gymnastics.
Mine's not.
See, I come from down under. Everything's upside down.
Everything's upside down anyway.
already.
Yeah, well, the way I was looking at the primary map, given the current compass rose there, we should have been coming in from that direction. Yes. Because we would have been on the opposite side of the river from the actual canyon. So, having said that, that means that the sneaky guys could actually come in through the pass and potentially get a jump on those guys, while the less sneaky guys could come up from the north.
Oh. Wait. Still missing something here.
Are we?
Shout out to
Well, okay.
DB
The
Kari.
intent is that you came in from
Hello.
this direction.
Hello.
Yeah, see, that would have.
And when you look at the big the big area map, you guys came in across like that, following up that river, because you guys
Yes,
started.
so which way was it? Because coming in the way that you had us come in before would have been, and it's got snap to grid on, we would have had it come in from that point.
Okay, well, all right. So the shape of the canyon is wrong. So, ignore the shape of this canyon.
I'm not
here.
talking about the shape of it. That is south.
Right. Which, if you look at the compass rose, the southern point, that would point south.
Right.
Because
We
the-
came
the
in from
river-
the north.
Yeah. So you came in from the north point of this. So, yeah, you came in from the north, which kind of means that what it's basically saying is you came in kind of more like that. Like this, you didn't come up the river. So the river's that light green area that goes straight down. So that's actually
Well, we
the river.
should have. We should have come up from the river. We should have been on the north side of the river.
But you were on the south side of the river.
We never said that.
You
When I
guys should
first
argue
when
some
I
more.
when I first suggested scouting, I said we should come up on the north side of the canyon.
Okay. All right. So then you guys scouted. Then, if that's the case, then you guys were here when you guys got a view of what's going on over there.
That is potentially yes. Yeah.
Fine with that. If that's the case, then you would also see this guy sleeping. Oh,
Okay. Did we not see that?
You didn't see him originally because he was hidden by that little,
Oh.
outcropping. I think I just. What did I do with my? I just
Oh,
didn't know
that
how to find that.
number 7.
Yeah, number 7.
Okay, I see. Okay, I think we're on the same page now.
Yeah. So okay. So really, it's just a matter of you guys were coming up across the north side versus what I thought was you guys cutting through the south. Now, what you would have noticed is there is that trail that cuts that way,
Right.
which would come out to be somewhere on this big map there. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. All right, so I think we're all tracking now. Shared mental model for the win.
Does
So,
it change our plan? Have people with rifles and we sneak up?
not exactly. So, if the rifle people can, again, end up here on the north of the river, looking down, that ought to be a relatively easy shot from
When you
there.
say here, that's like
Where
wait,
my blue
what?
arrow is pointing.
Where Chavez is.
Right, so then it comes to where do the sneaky guys go? Because I don't think we want to come up from the south.
That location, though, isn't elevated.
Yeah, it is. Well,
Where Chavez
okay,
is.
maybe
Yeah, not
that
immediately
may be
across,
even
no.
with.
You'd have to go back of ways, which I would have to do some fun math or do some fun map manipulation.
So maybe the
Work that
shooters set
Eh,
up
you could do it
there
that way too.
where Chavez is.
Well, if we do it that way, then the sneaky guys come through the quote-unquote hidden canyon trail, and the non-sneaky guys go up to that plateau where the Chavez is right there.
But you'd have to
And
do
that
some
probably has us
interesting
covered.
Yeah, you're going to do some funky circumnavigating.
Yeah, so we'd have to basically cross the river, probably upstream a bit.
So, kind of like my green arrows are showing.
Yeah.
I have to make sure
Oh,
that where
on
that map
that
comes
one.
from.
Okay. I was like, what green arrows? Right. Gotcha.
I think it's better if the sneaky people approach from there, so that they'll have to divide their attention between their flank and the plateau.
Well, if we're coming from the from this direction, then that is going to split them two ways.
You also
Maybe
don't
not
know
as
what's-
much as I would like, but
We don't have any
Yeah.
cover though if it starts to turn into a shootout.
You also don't know what's down that trail either.
no, we don't.
At least not yet.
If they've got a guy sleeping at the rock, they might have another guy at the trail.
More than likely.
But if this is just for planning for next week's session, I think that's what we do. Set up people. We'll check that trail to see if they've got anyone there. Set up shooters on the plateau, and sneaky people approach from a flanking position.
There's something I should have thought of.
Tactics.
Actually, what it could do is, assuming we clear the pass first, is let some of them shoot from that plateau there, and some of them come up through the pass behind the herd, in case they want to stampede them.
Well, if they're our cows, we probably don't want to stampede them in case they like go over the edge and die. Those
Yeah,
are
but the
walking
bad
dollar
guys will
signs.
too. think Wallinger's already written him off on his taxes.
I can always unwrite them. Or unwrite them?
Yeah, we can keep that option open in case less shootery types need something to do. Although I suppose we're probably well covered in that area. Need like one more sneaky guy.
Well, I got a 12.
Well, that's not terrible. Yeah, if we're gonna approach from, we're gonna this. Let me start over. The way that Ronki was suggesting will require us to cross the river. Actually, pretty much anyway is going to require us to cross the river at some point or another. Is the river really that cut
Oh,
there?
it's pretty cut deep in there, yes.
Because if there's enough of a lip down there, we might be able to actually cross farther downstream or up. Is that upstream or downstream? Downstream, and follow the lip below the canyon there, and then we'd have to climb up.
So, really the big unknown is where does that trail lead to, and how far do you have to move to get to it on the other side?
True.
So it's probably
Could just
more
kind of follow
likely
that
that
up.
we're going to be coming from the other side. Is that correct?
Well,
We still.
the
Any
best
way we do
known
that, we're gonna have to
approach-
cross the river.
But it's easier while you're kind of down at the river level right now. So you guys are kind of encamped there.
Everyone can swim, right?
Well, it's not like a major river. It's more just like, running water. It's maybe, thigh to ankle deep.
I guess that will figure into our tactical situation.
All right, so we can
The
ford the
map
river
there
easy
assumes
enough.
you kind of come up and then kind of come through like some, through the outcroppings and whatnot, and then come out here. Anything that it's assumed that these guys will see any kind of cut it outside of, if you sneak below them, they'll see anything kind of moving north of the river, immediately north of the river.
I don't know. Personally, I think I would want to come in from the north because they would. They're going to be expecting people to come from the south.
Although, based on what you've seen and what you've witnessed, they don't seem to be expecting anybody.
Yeah, to a degree.
I mean, even their guard who they have supposedly posted is sleeping on the job. And none of the other guys seem to care.
ninja over there and cut his throat.
Yeah, that's an awful lot of open space to ninja across.
In the dark.
Chavez could do it, but that's murder.
Or Chavez can go over there and gag him and tie him up, drag him around to the other side.
Chavez
Over
could
there and
ninja up and give
those
him a
guys
ninja wedgie.
I mean, a campfire only gives light out to how far?
I don't
Maybe.
remember. Maybe.
Even when you say 10 yards. I mean, obviously, that guy's probably going to have some light source of his own, but it's likely to be even smaller.
Well, if we hit him at night, that changes the whole situation.
That means everyone's operating in the dark as well.
Of course, it means everyone's operating in the dark as well.
But
I think we do it.
targets are standing in the light.
I think we do it in the daytime because then we could do the whole intimidation. You know, drop your guns, or you know the people that are surrounding you are going to start shooting you.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, you're having to cross a football field or half of one to get to them, and that's really difficult to surprise them.
No, we don't.
Yeah, it's about 50 yards. 40-some yards?
No, we crossed the river and set up shooters where Chavez is.
I thought we were abandoning that.
I still think it's the best idea.
The big thing, like I said, the one thing you'll have to assume is that trail opens somewhere where you guys can get to it from your side of the river.
Or we all cross the river very close to here.
And then everybody has to climb.
How steep is it?
Let's
Looks
see.
pretty
Probably
steep.
we're probably talking a good. Let's see. Is that at least 4 yards tall?
Yeah, that's a recipe for disaster.
And then if you wanted to go any higher, you're looking at, maybe 10.
Do people have climbing? The people that would be shooting, do they have climbing?
Henry does not.
I have an 11.
And take extra time. So, is Henry sneaky?
Not in the least.
Yeah, we've already run into that problem. Now, I'm all for going farther north, find out where that trail goes first. And just skirt these guys because they don't look like the objective anyway.
Chavez, Jericho, why don't you give me a navigate roll and a tracking roll?
I'll do the navigate.
Navigate, I guess, all I really.
Chavez will track then.
And navigation. There it is. Course.
All right.
Don't forget your points there, Daniel.
What?
Your plot points, you could re-roll that.
I don't know if it's worth it yet.
So as you kind of move, you guys sneak along that north ridge, looking to see where that hidden canyon trail kind of pops out of, and
as you kind of hike and hike, looking, you don't actually see a spot where it kind of hops out, or where you a location where you can join it from your side. You are able to get yourselves back, but moving up and down, moving further and further north, you figure at some point you're just going to end up coming all the way to come back down all the way. But
Well, it's
from
only a
that
mile.
right, but wherever that trail leads doesn't have a way of joining it along that edge of the river, or that you can see on that southern edge. So as you assume,
because it's hidden.
that it cuts back into the area, or cuts back in somewhere to another hidden canyon. It cuts like that way, and then somewhere cuts back in.
Yeah, see, El Presidente is not in this one, as far as we could tell. So, if we come
Our
in here
Presidente is in another castle.
exactly.
He's in
So
another
if we come
castle.
in here shooting at these guys, at or in whatever, that's just going to let the other ones know that somebody's here. So I'd be for just ignoring this bunch and moving on to wherever that's going.
I'm easy.
So that's an option.
So the question I have is, with regards to the trail, are the characters even actually aware of that hidden canyon trail? Because based
honest
on
with you,
their locations, are they even going to be able to see it? So, because if they can't see it at all, then we should remove that entirely from the equation
yeah, that's a good
until
point.
we get over there and then go, oh, look, there's another trail.
That
Well,
is a good point. You
we
probably
kind of
wouldn't
already
even know.
we kind of
That's-
already decided it was there by the time before we'd figured out which direction we actually came from.
From that, you would have just seen the rocky outcropping. Wouldn't necessarily have seen the trail behind it. Your vision would have been blocked any which way you go. So that is actually a really good point that Rigel brings up. Is from any of the angles you guys came, even from the north, that would have just looked like an outcropping to you. And if you come from the south, at best, you wouldn't even really. I mean, assuming that you guys came around a little bit to look, you wouldn't even seen the opening. You just would have noticed it be sunk in a little bit.
Well,
So-
let's backtrack a bit here then. 1, that way is bad. 2, climbing up the river is bad.
So if you guys had kept going north, or along that north side, you would not have seen anything that would have linked up to that trail. You just would have seen more of this stuff here, kind of following along. High-sided, kind of rocky
mountainous garbage.
Now, other possibilities? We do have at least one yellow sash. Could just walk right up to him. Also, Sarah could get naked.
What was that thing that Uhura did in that one?
She says no, and Jericho says, I could get naked.
I can never.
With a plethora of
I
actors
know it
here, I'm
works.
sure Sarah would not mind.
If you've seen the last season of Deadwood, you know that it works.
So.
Yeah, but that's I mean the easy way to close the distance there is to do it out in the open and not even try to hide.
You could potentially do, again, this would require some people climbing, is to kind of cut the distance and climb and get up and over during
swing
bad
around
hours.
the top.
Well, I think it would be safer probably to just circle around to whatever point. Any of those options are going to have us climbing down, which would be easier than climbing up, but still potentially some shenanigans.
Well, we can always do this. A couple of really good ideas and grant you guys some, I'll call it group plot points in the intervening conflict, or the potential conflict, to use as you need to either intimidate them or to, well, murderize them.
Well, now we could have just one person or a couple of persons walk up. And of course, Jericho's going to have no problems walking right up to these guys.
Yeah.
And that's gonna give everybody else an out potentially. Because the guys are probably not going to just shoot. And especially if we go ahead and throw on one of the yellow sashes or something, that's going to, at least they're going to ask a question first. In which case, Jericho probably shouldn't be the guy. Or maybe he can't
if they
lie.
recognize, that's true. If they all recognize each other by sight, though, the question will be, where did you get that, and who are you?
Trying to think of a simple disguise to look like the guy that you guys saw that was shot dead would work.
Yeah. We could wait for him to bleed out, take his clothes.
Oh, no, I was thinking
Well, there
the
were
other
three
guy,
others that were dead.
Well, those guys, what you kind of gathered through his ramblings were they stole some silver, which you guys now have a small bag of silver, by the way. They stole silver from some of their fellow bandits and were on their way escaping. You will probably have drawn the conclusion that the four of them shot one of the other bandits that was out scouting for them, leaving him to bleed to death in the desert. He kind of, didn't actually die and started to try and crawl his way back to safety, and, well, died on the way to Buzzard.
Phil, I just realized that what I was talking about with somebody walking up, that's totally a Wolfric surprise. No, the other thing I was thinking of was the quote-unquote prisoner exchange.
Well, prisoner exchange, or you could do the sneak to there, climb up the cliff there, and then do the, hey, we have one of your guys. We don't have to, kill everybody here.
Yeah, well, what if they don't like that guy?
Well, then that guy gets murderized along with whoever's trying to.
I mean, clearly they're not opposed to shooting each other in the back.
Well, okay, the guys that shot the guy in the back were the ones that were, defecting, deserting. There you go, deserting. The guy who got shot in the back was one of the loyalists looking for them. He just happened to be caught alone, failing a couple navigation checks himself, getting lost. So they probably don't even know where he's at, wondering when he's going to return.
We got any votes at this point?
I'm fluctuating.
But you also have Posse, who's just like gunslinger extraordinaire.
He's not the only one.
True.
Yeah, well, I think if we could close the distance, we're not going to have too much trouble.
Well,
it's really about how we do it.
Actually, I have a. Give me a second. I'll find it.
If we can find a way to get them to actually just let us walk up, then it's their funeral. And I think it's probably not out of the question.
Even if you do approach with a sash, though, it will alert them.
Yeah.
Hold on, I've got the perfect way for you guys to sneak in. There you go. There's how you sneak in, guys. I'm surprised you haven't figured it out by now.
Damn, that's a good idea.
Oh, I haven't seen that movie in so long.
Yeah, that girl.
I'm trying to remember what the movie was. It may have been Silverado. No, it's talking about there's a different one where one of the guys ran into the bandit camp acting like he was being shot at by the.
Yeah, that was Silverado.
Was that Silverado?
It was. But yeah, go ahead.
No,
Tell
that
him
was
what he
just
does.
trying to remember that.
Oh.
If we're doing that, Chavez is the head. I'm not going the arse.
Yeah, so
that could turn into such a cool comedy as one of the bulls in the herd there spots this rather smashing looking cow walk in.
You just have to make sure it's an ugly cow.
How do you know it's an ugly cow?
I don't know. It's the one nobody bothers with.
Look, the cow's got come fuck me boots on.
Anybody opposed to the disguise / walk up openly?
no.
It's worth a try.
Who gets to do it?
I'm thinking we all walk up if somebody if we do the prisoner thing, that's probably the easiest way to pull that off. Otherwise, some people are going to have to sneak, which is not out of the question. The other way is to send like one or two ahead to walk up. They get all the bad guys' attention as they're asking questions of who are you or where'd you get the yellow sash, while the rest of them pop out from behind that outcropping there.
Oh yeah, or you can do post your snipers up here. Have
and you
one
can
or
do
two.
that.
Have like Sarah as a quote unquote prisoner. One guy dressed with a sash, because yes, you only really need one. Maybe one or two, like say Jericho, Chavez, and Sarah together, and then Fosse with the with whatever, and then he can pretend like he's like, hey, look who I found nosing around down the valley, kind of thing. Stand behind three of them so they don't get a good look at his face, and then once you get close enough, then everyone drops the charade, draws iron, and says,
why are we using Sarah as bait? That seems wrong.
Well,
I'd say we use Wallinger as bait.
Or we use Wallinger.
You just want me to die, don't you? I see how it is.
Yeah, but
Are you sure you want to do that?
We need Wallinger on the rifle.
Wallinger pays my rent.
Sarah's not too shabby with a shotgun, if I recall.
If Wallinger gets killed, then I'm out of a job.
Sarah's not too bad
who
with a
takes
shotgun.
over his ranch if he dies? That's why Sarah needs to strike while the iron's hot.
Now, if she uses slugs, just something to note, at 40 yards, it's going to be some issues. But if she uses slugs, she'll have the range for it.
Well, she can use a rifle, can't she? She's got gunslinger.
Yeah. But she doesn't own a rifle, so she has to borrow one.
And she uses rifles at default.
Yeah, well, Jericho picked up a spare, and he's using his default, too.
This rifle default to shotgun at shotgun -1?
I think it defaulted from pistols at -2, so it's probably no worse.
All right. Well, if we're going to do the
give her a shotgun and give it loaded with slugs, and she's going to be good to go. She'll be rocking and rolling.
if we're going to do the walk up, then Chavez is going to want to sneak around here, just so we've got someone on their flank in case things go bad.
Wouldn't have a problem with that. And Jericho could potentially go there too.
Awesome. Fosse's going to be the one that's going to have to do the, yes, you can help me. There are too many bullets in these guns.
Oh, there you go. So
we got Henry on the rifle. Chavez and Jericho sneak up. Fosse, Sarah do the prisoner exchange. What do we do with Slate? See a rifle guy?
Fosse should have a dress and a floral bonnet, just like Mal Reynolds in that Firefly episode.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
What is Slate's specialty with regard to firearms, or does he have none?
His big fists.
His rifle and pistol are both 12, but his punching people until they stop is much higher.
So probably want to get in closer then.
At average 11.
Actually, it might even work better if you have Slate wearing the thing, because he looks more, he's not as a dandy as Fosse would look. And he could say, hey, look at this, look what I found. I found this rich guy sitting there, wandering around looking at mountains. Or
the question is, which one of those two would be more silver-tongued?
Not Slate.
I only got a 12.
He's just
Well,
a kid, and he's
there's some and there's none, I presume so.
Yeah, well,
I think
I'm gonna do the
this
Han
probably puts
Solo.
everybody where they need to go.
I'm gonna do the Han Solo School of Charm, where it's like boring conversation anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Slate actually doesn't have any social skills except for savoir-faire frontier folk, and that's only a 10.
So he
Nothing
knows
with
to wave.
bandits. Yeah, tip his hat.
Yeah, I
Oh.
think the scary thing is Fosse's the talker, and he's only at 12.
Yeah, well, that's kind of how this one shook out, isn't it?
Yeah,
Bunch of murder hobos.
we really are.
We have a home.
We're not there.
Yeah, I think we have the outlines of a plan here.
All right. So we got, looks like Jericho and Chavez to sneak up and over the cliff. Slate and Fosse to meet him head on with Wallinger and Sarah armed with long arms, taking pot shots at a distance.
And if she wants to use a rifle for that, she can use Jericho's. Got the Winnie 73. Actually, we had another
I've
one.
got one of those
Her
too.
rifle with a slug is like 4 deep PI plus.
Fosse has an 1873 as well.
Yeah, but that's an awful long way for a shotgun.
Not on slugs. Slugs half distance is 100.
Yeah, I know, but the sighting is not made for that.
Still accuracy plus 4.
4?
Yeah. When you
That doesn't
throw
make
a
any
slug
damn
in
sense.
there, when you, for whatever reason, when you throw in a slug into that shotgun, the accuracy goes up by 1. Because a slug is more,
Yeah, whatever.
So
If it works, it works.
her effective skill at a base aim is 18. So even the furthest dude from wherever is going to be a minus 8. So she's rolling on an effective 10. Do 2 more rounds, she's rolling on a 12.
Well, they're going to have plenty of time to get set up. Because the sneak team is going to have to go out first.
Wallinger's going to need to invest in a scope of some kind. They had scopes, didn't they?
Yeah, they were primitive. Probably no better than 2X, maybe 4, but they did exist. You've probably seen those really long ones.
Yeah. They're the really long tubes. But because you can even add braced to that, so you're looking now at a effective of 13. But all out gives you a 14.
Mm-hmm. And by 14, you're pretty much good.
Yep. So, I mean, between her and Wallinger at range, they'll be able, keep plugging away. She's the one with gunslinger, so she could do it every round. Wallinger would have to aim once every round to get.
Although if she's using a shotgun, she only gets to do it twice.
The lever action, yeah, it is 2. Yeah, it's the hammer lifter.
Regardless, if things go to plan, we shouldn't have to fire any shots.
True that.
Yeah,
It's
that ain't
possible.
gonna happen.
It could happen. It could.
Boring conversation anyway.
Yeah, but if you whip those guns out and the 2 ninjas come up from behind and that could scare them.
Gotta shoot them! Oh, sorry guys.
It'll turn into get them.
I mean, it's
think-
probably going to turn into a gunfight, but still,
mean-
it could. It could not happen.
I mean, the thing is you guys are A, PCs. B, based on your plans, I'll even give you a group character points for that fight. I'll give you 4 group character points, or not character
Okay.
points, but plot points that you guys can use as a pool. Well, heck, you wouldn't even need that. You guys have your own character point or plot
Yeah,
points.
we'll be fine.
I think you'll be just fine. Besides, I'm not out to kill you guys. I'm out to tell a story. So, unless you think it's appropriate that one of your guys buys it at this point in the story,
That's never going to be appropriate.
so
It
exactly.
could be.
We're all too pretty to get killed.
Look at that jaw.
So, I
Well.
think we got a good. I think we know how this is going to play out. So, or have a good idea.
How will this end? In fire.
So the party is, spent some time drafting up some plans, and they get ready to implement it. What will happen? Well, tune in next week.
As rocks fall and everybody dies.
As the crew from Frome, takes on the cattle rustlers of Echo Canyon.
Cue music.
Cue music.
Alright, so how many points?
1 point and 1 additional point if you still have your 2 plot
Right.
points unspent.
Yep.
Cool.
To cash in your plot points, it's 2 for 1. Yeah?
2 for 1, correct.
Do they carry over from
No,
week to week?
they do not.
Sweet. All right.
I guess that means we're doing this next week.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I've got, depending on where, I've got material, so I'm kind of,
Oh, I figure we should at least finish this cattle drive.
yeah, I mean, this little side quest thing, I probably, and the cattle drive could be 2 sessions, maybe 3, depends on how things kind of go. Really, the cattle drive is more just a couple figure out if you lose anything on the way. This is kind of a diversion from the monotony of pushing cows across the prairie.
And getting trampled in stampedes.
Exactly.
What I
Just
find really
imagining having
funny,
to push the actual cow.
what I found amusing, listening to the feed from last week, is you guys took the route which is going to be, longer, but should have been safer.
Uh-huh.
And
When
yet
instead
you
of-
ran into the most weather. It would have actually been worse if they had taken the other route, because if you had taken the other route, you would have had both the weather show up and you guys would have been set upon by Indians/rustlers. So it would have been
For some reason, that sounded like wrestlers.
oh
Oh
Indian
no,
wrestlers.
no, Lucadors.
yeah, luchadors.
We're gonna take your cows now.
Oh yeah.
Alright, so next week we'll be playing this for the next 2, maybe 3 sessions.
That works.
Are we going to then move on to Phil's Traveller, or shall we do some of the Star Trek?
I prefer Traveler to Star Trek, generally speaking.
Well, didn't
Yeah,
But I play
up
either
to-
one.
Up to you guys.
So Phil, you're not on a because you had something with you face
At
to
the
face.
moment, no.
Okay. We're not. You're not in a time crunch that you have to get it, in and done now, kind of thing.
Not that I'm aware of, because I
Alright.
punted for Daniel, and we're
What?
having issues.
Yeah,
with
we're
attendance on our
having some
Friday
problems.
game.
What? So your Friday games aren't happening?
No, because it's like we've got just enough people that if we lose one person, then it's problematic, and we're
So-
like, we'll lose a person for a game, and then we'll lose a different person the next game, and it's like, ah!
Well, we had a total of 5+1, I think, and one of them's out indefinitely because we don't know when his mother-in-law is going to recover and or not need to recover anymore. And then we got another one who's about to start another semester of college, and
Grad
we
school.
don't know what his grad school, and we don't know what his situation's going to look like. Generally, it has not been conducive to gaming.
Perhaps
if
we
it
could
helps
fantasy
anything.
grounds on Friday and Saturday.
Mark needs to move to OKC.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I have actually. I've dropped actually a good number of resumes down in at Tinker for some GS jobs. So, and Michael has already found the house that she wants to move to and move into if we do go to OKC. So
That'd be awesome.
I can't say I would not be disappointed. I would not be disappointed. Well, I guess I can't say it. So. Yeah, so we'll see.
Did you want to play on Friday night as well? While your face-to-face games aren't happening.
I
Well, we're
honestly
still not
don't-
sure exactly how that's going to work right now. The silly season is over as of this week, so what happens next week is will tell us.
Because I'm keen to game whenever. Your Friday night's my Saturday morning, and that works fine for me.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't generally have much going on Friday nights, but I try and leave those open for family events and whatever we can kind of fit in and do fun. But that doesn't mean that they're entirely taken up or occupied, so I could potentially be available Fridays.
My Friday availability is about 50% because I have once a month karate thing, and we try to have a once a month board gaming night on Fridays. Doesn't always happen, but I'd be down to play for the weeks that I'm available.
Yeah.
Well, we could probably take that to the forums.
Yep, that sounds like something we can definitely discuss. All right. Well, hopefully you guys were entertained tonight.
I shall.
I knew that going into this fight might have been a bad idea if we had started. So I was like, "Oh, this is getting close." So
That's all right.
We'll be ending the stream here then. Thanks,
All right.
Trooper, who's been following us the whole session, pretty much.
Good night,
All
stream.
right.
Good night, Trooper.
Good night, stream.
Trooper. Get some back to Trooper.